YouTube is Love subscribers. I hope that you're having a wonderful, wonderful Friday. I did. I had my Mother's Day dinner. It was delish. Let me know if you want me to post it. Who cares? It was great. I had a nice glass of wine, and Kara had fun looking at all the seafood things that were going on around her. I don't know. I like gold lipstick. You know, it's just, I don't know. I'm not a big lipstick person. And so red, it's pretty on my daughter. I know, because there is a lot going on. But I did want to get on here and just have a little chit chat with you guys and talk about it a little bit. And I'm realizing that there's just a lot of controversy that is surrounding Meghan and Harry. Harry's got a lot of court stuff going on, and he's all over the place with it. I think it's all over the place. I think he's opened up a can that he shouldn't have opened and kept it closed. And then as he goes through this trial and goes through this, he constantly brings up people in his life that don't want to be brought up. You can't tell me that William wanted him to bring up the conversation of him, his lawsuit, and now he's bringing up Chelsea's name, talking about they could have had a wonderful life together. One of you said that no, Harry was not ready. He wouldn't get ready for Chelsea, and Chelsea got tired of it and decided to leave. It wasn't the media, it wasn't the press. But, you know, Harry makes up things in his head, too. He's learning that from Meghan, that it's fun to do that. And since they can just make it up in their head, it really didn't happen. Like, it happened, but it happened the way they said it happened. But just because they said it the way it happened doesn't mean that it's the truth. And that's where Gail and Oprah and Tyler Perry and the rest of them and this Marcus guy that I just heard talking on one of the GBN news stations. He's an activist for African American civil rights. And I'm going into that conversation now. So he's a black gentleman, and the commentary brought up the fact that Lady Bridgerton, and that's her name, Angela Dolphus, I believe, one of them. But you brought up the point that he says that she calls the royal family. She says he plays the clip. She says it's a terrible white balcony. Terrible. When I did my video the other day, I was trying to figure out what she meant by terrible. Because it's two things that you said that were disrespectful. You said it was terrible, and then that it was white. Like being white was terrible. And so that's probably why and one of you said that her husband should have been questioning it. And he should have. Because my husband said he would have. He would have said, what do you mean by that? And I would have had to explain that. And it would have been hard to, because it is what it is. It's a terrible white balcony. And now you start getting into the conversation of it not being diverse enough. Or what color their balcony should look like. And then they started talking about how modern families now have mixed, it's a mixture of people, which makes it better. So the Marcus guy says, and I'm going to write it down, something about modern day families have mixed relations, which makes the family more diverse and make it better. Like it makes it better because you have diversity. It doesn't make it better. It just makes it different. It just makes it different. It just makes you have you have different mixes of colors and different backgrounds in your family. It doesn't mean that you're special or not special. It doesn't mean that you're better off because you have it. These conversations that these people have, sometimes just stupid. It doesn't make sense. And what I got from Marcus was that, you know, just because you're a civil rights activist doesn't mean that everything is about that. Everything is about protecting that person from being discriminated against. Because even if the person is lying about it, even if the person is telling a faux a story about them being that, Marcus goes in and he tells us that Meghan was pushed out of the royal family. He says, not if you were removed. I'm going to start from the beginning. So the commentator, which is why I asked the question, do you think it was a racist comment? And he says, no. He says, not necessarily, or he said, it just depends on who you ask. And see, that's where that stupid stuff come in, Ed. Because I'm starting to see it. Now, you know it was a racist comment, Marcus, and you don't have to pick and choose who is going to think of it being racist or not. I'm an African-American black woman, and I think it was a racist comment because it was terrible to be white and on the balcony. That was a very negative tone. It just wasn't very tasteful. It was racist. And then he says, it depends. No, call it what you call it. And here's what I'm finding out, that you can be racist against white people. I believe it. You know how I believe it? Because I just heard it from Lady Dandry. I know how and why I get offensive when I'm discriminated against because of the color of my skin. I know it. I know how to react because I know how it makes me feel. So I'm finding it hard to believe that he would think that anyone, he should be able to answer that question like this. Yes, it was a racist comment, and I heard it from someone, a black person being racist against a white person. You cannot tell me Lady Dandry didn't put her foot in her mouth when she said that. She really may have put her career on the line. And the way she comes back out to retract or apologize, it just wasn't good enough. It didn't, and I don't know why I'm harping on this again. It's Marcus's fault for defending it. Then he goes down and he says, the commentator says, most of Great Britain is white. Most of our balconies are this color. Wouldn't you say that, Marcus? And then that's when Marcus starts going into most families have interracial relationships, and it's more of a mixed relation, which makes it better because since it's mixed, then it's not all one color. It's not all black. Or that is a bunch of bull. He is full of it. All of a sudden, this Marcus guy loves diversity, loves the intertwining of, and I don't know his past. I don't know who this gentleman is, and I didn't even get his full name, but it was on one of these shows. But my point is that he says that they failed to protect her. He tells us. So they're talking about the racial thing. And in some kind of way, Meghan's name come up. And if you think about it, Meghan's name is in everything. And in everything her name is in a negative light. It's something that she has done to make the situation just worse. And because, and it's on both sides, because they have to defend her. Marcus and Chris and the Sussex squad and all of them, they have to defend this crap. But they're standing on the word that they believe everything that she said, that the royal family mistreated her, because he goes on to say that they didn't protect her. From who, Marcus? Who was the royal family supposed to protect Meghan from? I wish the commentator would have asked if he had heard what he said. I wish he had said, I'm sorry, but what was the royal family supposed to protect her from? She lived on the castle. She had security. They protected her from the outside world. People are going to constantly have an opinion about you regardless. The tabloids, the royal, everybody is. Everybody was. But she lied on the media over there and said that they were after her. She wasn't getting that kind of press. And even if she was, what were they protecting her from? A few people that were writing stories about her. And then, And so she wanted the royal family to protect her from all the bad stories. And so that's what Harry's job is now. Harry's running around protecting her from people like me and the rest of us saying the truth about his wife that he don't want to hear and that she doesn't want to hear. They want to shut us up. Of course she does, because then you'll know the truth and then she can't continue her trickery. But it's not about us. You can't hide. She can't hide herself. She can't hide who she is. She can't hide the disgusting corrodedness that comes out of her and how she treats people. And then he gets on here and wants us to know that she was mistreated. No, I read somewhere that she was bullying the staff over there. So how can she be mistreated while she's bullying? And then how is she going to be mentally going on with her while she's trying to help mental people? They were part of the program to help. But then she flipped the script 15 minutes because she was only there for 1 year and 7 months. That wasn't even long enough. 9 of it was having Archie. But she was lonely. Meghan was a lot. It's just, these are my thoughts and my opinions, guys. These are my thoughts and my opinions. I'm telling it how I see it. No, she's the ringleader of things always going wrong and always going bad and then acting dumb like she don't know what happened. It wasn't me. No, he's talking about they didn't defend her. Defend her from what? See, that's that story that Harry was running around saying that they didn't have security. Who didn't they protect her from, Marcus? And are they supposed to protect her now? Who's protecting her now from herself? What about her father, Marcus? What about her father and the rest of her family that she has said mistreated her too? Everybody's mistreating Meghan. And then you have people like Marcus that are supposed to be fighting for people's rights, but then you got Meghan using the card for no reason whatsoever. And he shouldn't be wasting his breath on her talking about that she wasn't protected. Against what? You can't, first you want her on the balcony and now you want her protected. No, what is it? Lady Dowdry was pissed off because Meghan wasn't on the balcony. Whose fault was that, lady? It was Meghan's fault because she the one ran, talking about they were eating her to the wolves. She ran. Harry ran. And so when he says that they didn't protect her, it's stupid. And when she says she should have been on the balcony, then she shouldn't have been over here acting a fool, talking about they wasn't protecting her. Meghan wanted treatment that Catherine wasn't even getting. The future queen of England. The people that respect her and don't mind doing and giving and talking highly of her. But no, Meghan, she expected the royal treatment. She expected to be treated like a princess. She was expected to be treated, treating everybody else like peasants or just like, you guys are just nothing. And it's me, comb my hair, put my clothes on, make me look good. And then when you're due, get out my room. Just probably rude and talking to them so disrespectful. Like she is like just nasty. Because everybody that she comes in contact with tells us how disgusting she is. Wilbur Wilson, Millie McIntosh, I know that's not her name, Jessica Maloney, her father, her sister. I mean, there's a lot more. Like, there's a lot more. There's a lot more. How she goes around. Harry Friends said we met her and she treated us like crap. Treated us like, oh, okay, yeah, this would be the last visit for you guys. Oh, Harry can't have no friends. That's why when he went over there, he was alone. She isolated him. Poor Harry. He's been brainwashed. He's in an abusive relationship. He don't know if he's coming or going, and he looks goofy. He did look like he was on something. He did. He looked like he was nervous, and it was all over the place. And then something about having an attitude because would nobody treat him like he was a prince. Well, if you don't act like a prince anymore, Harry, you don't get treated like one. Because your wife has stripped you from that. And I also want to tell you guys this too. Meghan is not popular at all in a sense where she's becoming the brand that she did have, this attack the family, she's losing. It's so apparent that she has dug herself into this pitiful situation. She didn't support her husband. She didn't let the kids go see the grandparents. Her father is over there knocking on the door and she's not listening to him. She's blaming the royal family for everything that they've ever done to her while she was over there in a year and a half. They ruined her life. They almost killed her. She got people like Marcus coming on here defending her and want to see her on the balcony. It's just unbelievable that this conversation is going on and Marcus doesn't see it. Now, listen, here's the thing. Now, I bet you there were probably some issues that Meghan ran into. I'm sure. Like we all do when we're in somewhere unfamiliar. But Meghan didn't talk about those things. She didn't talk about how she was maybe had a little bit of trouble, adjusting. No, she just flat out and said that they didn't do anything to help her become a princess. They let her out to dry. And all they did was, they treated her as if she was not a princess. And when you clearly see them treating her like that. And then Marcus gets on here and doesn't go back and look at the receipts like we have and know that Meghan had time to discuss anything that she felt was racism with everyone in the family before she married him. But she chose not to. And so she clams on to one incident that she wasn't even involved in to say that the family was racist, that she wasn't even a part of. And so how can she feel like she felt it was racism and it was worse? It was the worst thing that ever happened to her if you're not even in the room and knowing what happened. You have come to a conclusion that they're racist based on someone else's recollection that I don't believe that said that. And then you used it. And that was the only thing that you had to use. There was nothing else in the royal family that showed that they were racist. Because if they were feeding you to the wolves and they were this big racist family, there's got to be more than that. You got to have been walking to the kitchen trying to get some milk and they told you to take your black tail back to bed. Something had to happen to show us that she was actually discriminated against. For the world and people like Marcus to keep saying it and having this conversation with us that they didn't protect her. From who? The press? They have to protect their own selves from the press. And the press wasn't knocking on Charles's door saying, we're coming to get Meghan. We're coming to get her, protect her. Like someone was after her. Is anybody protecting her now, Marcus? Who's protecting her now from the press? Who is protecting her from Millie coming out and saying what she just said? And said how Meghan dissed her, ghosted her, treated her like crap, and told her, listen, don't ever call me again because we're not friends because I done met my prince and I don't want to have nothing else to do with you because you are beneath me because I am finna marry this man and then I'm going to treat his family like crap and then turn him against his own family and then I'm going to fly to California and mistreat them and start my brand. But it's taking a minute to get off the ground. You know why? Because of my shenanigans. My trashing of the royal family and lying and talking about how they're racist. She lied. She looks like an idiot. No one, I'm telling you, her popularity is so bad. No one is caring anymore. But it's just us. They don't expect anything from Meghan. They're not expecting anything greatness to come from there. There's no substance. And people know that. And it's not a shock anymore. Because the word is out on the street that she is who she has shown us. And it's not going to get off the ground. It's not. And here's the deal. There's two things going on. She may make money. But her popularity will always be this. It will never flourish. Because it's been on life support for so long that it's dead. I can actually say that her popularity is dead. It's been erased. No one wants to befriend someone that's going to ghost them in a month. No one wants to be a friend to someone that's going to use them. No, and no one wants a friend that's going to lie either and make up stories to fit their fairy tale. Oh, let me tell you something. Any moment now, there's going to be more stories coming out about Harry and Meghan's relationship. The cracks are going to be because there's problems. There's problems. And Harry's got to figure out where he fits into her world. Because he never fit. He was always a means to an end. She used you so she could become known. And then when she became known, then she wanted us to think that she was just a wonderful person. But the verdict was already out about that. And we had instantly fell in love with her and started liking her because of who she married. And then, Marcus, she has proven us wrong that she doesn't need protecting. We need protection from her. Come to find out, the royal family needed protection from her. They needed to make sure that there wasn't no microphones in the house. Can they trust this person? No. And so it just blows my mind how the Sussex squad, because I'm putting Marcus in there, can say that she needed defending. What did she need defending from when she was the main one over there with the shenanigans and the trickery? She was the one. The royal family needed protection from her and Harry. Because as you can see, and I think that man said that, I don't know if he did, but he did say this. He said they're the ones that came out on the Oprah show. They're the ones that had Spotify and Spare. And then you see Marcus doing this. That ain't gonna ever go away. Please. Meghan was so in such a hurry, in such an enlightenment, because she didn't have to sign any documents saying that she can talk about her time in the royal family. She was an open book. And I heard Harry's getting ready for his next section in his book. Now those are rumors. And then she's coming out with a memoir. Things are happening so fast with them. Trust. Just 2 months ago, there was some titles being given. Okay? Titles, a letter, leakage, leakage. Leakage and all this other stuff. Demands where she want to be when she get there. Then they didn't RSVP. Nobody knew if they were going or not. Then Harry's going, and then she's coming out on this cam talking about her new nose and how she's gonna do a new brand. A brand, become, how she's gonna become, and how she's not worried about the royal family anymore. No, what it looks like is they don't care about you. I don't think the royal family is concerned or is looking at Meghan as a threat. I think if they thought she was, that they would get the lawyers out on her. I really do. I think that there is going to be a moment, if they continue down this stupid road of trashing their own families. I don't think it will continue. But I just think Charles would do something. But I'm almost would be shocked that she would say anything else, because that would mean W, whatever that company is that's trying to save her. My husband said something earlier. Yeah, he said, well, same thing I said. They need protection from her. What do you say? She's dangerous. She is dangerous. She's dangerous. She's dangerous because Marcus and some people and a lot of people believe it, like Lady Dandry. He was saying they removed her. Now the narrative is that the royal family, he said the royal family removed her from the royal family. She was removed from the royal family. And see, I don't know why the journalist didn't hear him say that, because I would have loved him to say, excuse me, no, didn't she get on the plane talking about freedom? That she needed to get out of there because all of this lies? No, it didn't look, the balcony didn't have her half self up there. It's because of her, because she left. But not only we didn't see her there, is because she didn't want to. Could you imagine her being in the back with Harry, sitting there for 2 hours, not being noticed? No, I'm not going and doing that. Well, yeah. Meghan and Harry knows what's going on over there. Ain't nothing going on over there in the UK. You got a family and a monarch that's moving on, while these two is obsessed with the royal family. I think that Harry and Meghan are obsessed with their own family and their own, because Meghan wants to get what she can get out of them. She wants to make money off of the royal family, as she's been doing. She's going to try to make money off the royal family by building her brand. And what's ironic about it is that when the question was asked on the Oprah show, she acted like, what sense does that make? If you wasn't trying to do your brand, then here's the question, then why are you doing it today if it has nothing to do with it? if that was like a lie, or that was like, that doesn't make sense. It does make sense, Meghan, because you're doing the very thing that you said that didn't make sense. Building you. No, I don't think this is the time to build. I think this is the time to reflect. And then after you do that, then build and then come back out. Because I've never seen a comeback this quick. Especially as it continues to plummet and as she continues to do dumb stuff. But not just that. Every situation, every incident, Meghan's at the top and the center of it. The ghostwriter helping Harry do his thing. Who but her over there with goodies. Here's a snack. Here, Harry. Make sure you put in the book about the bridesmaid dresses too. Don't forget. Let me move on. No, he said they removed her. No, Marcus, she removed herself. Stop the narrative of stupid conversations. I'm like, that ain't what happened. They did protect her. They kept her. She had a home. She had money. She had clothes. She had everything that she needed that she didn't have to provide for herself. That's not protecting her. I don't remember her dishing out $2 and $3 and $30 million for her own wedding, saying, we got this. No, you didn't have it when you came over here, because if you did, you wouldn't have trashed the royal family for money. And you wouldn't have made hundreds of millions of dollars from Netflix off of saying stuff about your in-laws after you've only been over there for 15 minutes. And then you want Marcus, someone that is an advocate for, rights, people's rights. You got him talking about you were not protected, and that here's another kicker to me. She didn't support King Charles at all during this coronation. It looked like to me like she was telling them, I don't care about the coronation. It doesn't mean anything to me. That is y'all stuff. I don't care. I don't want it. I got what I want, and I got the titles for the kids. I got the Duchess of Sussex, and now I'm finna work on me. So I don't care. And Harry, you going over there. I'm not going over there. Then he rushing back like he got somewhere to be. And then she's not even there. Because she wants us to know that she's on the mountain doing her thing while everybody's at the coronation. Meghan has destroyed relationship after relationship after relationship. She was even trying to destroy the relationship between her father and her siblings, because she told her father to stop talking to them. There's some water. Oh, that's my daughter's tub water. Let me know what you think. That's all I have for tonight. I know I was rattling on, but Meghan has people believing what she said on that docuseries and all of that was true. She hasn't retracted, and she hasn't tried to reconcile with anyone over there either. She just threw dirt and trash. And she told the whole world. And now that the whole world knows, and she hasn't retracted any of this stuff, like Megyn Kelly said, she's disgusting. And they're losing. I've never seen someone lose and think that she's winning. She looked like when she was on the mountain, like she had won and ran a marathon, and like she was finna get an award for that. No, you are losing so bad. It's not even funny. No, there's no winning. How are you winning? Winning would be that you're not fighting with your husband. Your husband is still in honeymoon phase, which he is not. You would be talking to your father. You would try to get those kids over there to the UK so that King Charles can see his grandkids. Like one of my subscribers said, she's saying that she wants a relationship. You can say it all you want to, but what you do is what we see. And what I've been seeing is fake. A fake actress that has been acting all her life. And she even acts when she has friends that care about her, like Millie. Millie wouldn't have said what she said about Meghan if it hadn't offended her or hurt her feelings, or if she wasn't just shocked by the entire thing. But what she's trying to let us know that the reports are true about who this person is. But we saw that with Jessica Maloney. And you could tell that something happened with Jessica Maloney with that relationship. It was almost like they had like a girlfriend and boyfriend relationship, but didn't. What I'm saying is such a close relationship that you could never see your person not being friends with that person ever, because you're that close. That's where Jessica Maloney was with her. But Meghan had this vision board, and Jessica Maloney wasn't on there, or her father, or King Charles. And so, like someone said, it doesn't matter that these people have provided, given her phone numbers, given her contacts, getting her connected to the right people, and then getting close enough to marry a prince to make her a global, not a global icon, a global notoriety, to turn it all the way to kaput because of her personality, because of who she is. It blows my mind every time that I sit on here and have a conversation with you guys about her, because I forget that I'm talking about a real person. And each day when they continue to give us receipts about who she is, because no one has ever said anything nice about Meghan, not one person, unless they were told to say it or was introducing her or rehearsing it. And now you got Gayle King and Charles Barkley, I'm going to say it again, that has no journalistic. Did he go to school for journalistic stuff? He got a job by default. He, basketball player, knows all about that, so he can talk about that. I'm going to sit on a soap opera like talk show with Gayle to talk about the royal family as if I've met any of them, know anything about them, or would have anything to offer. What would he have to offer that would be anything positive about it, about King Charles? And then Gayle King. You see her. It's the headlines say Gayle says she's never going to stop working. Gayle believes that Meghan is her opportunity, just like Oprah did. Meghan is not going to make you famous. Meghan is going to make you look like an idiot, especially with your opinion. Because she wanted us to know that Harry and Meghan knows what's going on over there. What is she going to tell you what's going on there too? So she can open up about what's going on, that she's only been somewhere for 15 minutes and all of a sudden she's suicidal. This woman can't be all these things. But guess what? The one big thing that she is not likable. She's not likable. She's not friendly. And I'm going to let y'all go. I didn't stay on here for 40 minutes. I'm out of here. I do apologize. I should have left at 25. Let me know what you think. Love you guys. Have a wonderful weekend and a great Mother's Day to all the Wonderful mothers, love you, and kisses.